Guys, now that we have confirmed to Fernando De Cruzito is leaving Kaizer Chiefs, and obviously we're gonna need a replacement for Fernando De Cruz, and also we're gonna be looking at Hugo Bruce in terms of Rushwin Dortley. But before I get into more details about that, please do make sure to like the video, and also if this is your first time seeing Football Trends with QB, click a subscribe button and bell notification so that next time when I post a new video you get notified. Now, starting with Rushwin Dortley and what Hugo Bruce had to say in terms of his performance Rushwin Dortley. Now, if you remember correctly, it's all a big match Bafana against Uganda, and yeah, I have to say Uti, I'm not impressed with some of the performances, especially when Oveli Motwa costed us, because for me I think that second goal was unnecessary. It was not a goal that we should have considered. Yes, we've opened the scoring line by Ulail Foster scoring the first goal. Even some of the great performances from the players, I've seen Oswin Police doing some of the most beautiful work. And then also, to be honest, the centre back pairing Bafetu, I'm not saying they did bad. I'm not saying they did their best, but I do think, especially with Rushwin Dortley, I do think he could have done more. But I'm happy with how he performed. He did not make any mistakes with Tusiyabonga Ngezana. But one thing I do think is very important that they should work on is for them to find each other, like in terms of ukjela and understanding each other in terms of communication. And another thing, I think that's something that they were lacking on yesterday's game, the communication with Zwane to came to. But it's something that I think they can improve over the games if ever a coach is still going to start them next match, which I think is a possibility because of how he was impressed. And this is what he had to say. He says, I think we can't blame the players at the back. They did what they have to do. They did their job. For Rushwin, it was his first game, not an easy game. He did it well. I think the choice we made with him was a good choice. Hugo Bruce, which we all know with Bafetu, it's very hard to impress coach Hugo Bruce. But anyways, it looks like he is impressed with Rushwin Dortley, and definitely I see a possibility to keep him started on the next match. Now, where I would be disappointed is if he is still going to use Oveli Motwa over Sipho Chain, because we've watched his previous performances with Sipho Chain Bafetu, and we've seen he was ready for the national team call-up performance against Cape Town City in the MTN 8. And then going back to De Cruzito Bafetu, who was the first coach to arrive at South Africa against Nabi, and a lot of people were skeptical. They didn't believe Unabi was signed by Kaizer Chiefs, as I've reported earlier back then, or June, July, if I'm not mistaken. Now, getting back to Fernando De Cruz Bafetu, he obviously left a message. Definitely, he said, I would like to thank Kaizer Chiefs chairman and all the supporters for the warm welcome and affection they gave from the first day I landed in South Africa. Thank you to the players, staff, and everyone involved for making sure that everything was fantastic for me. I wish this great club everything of the best. Fernando De Cruz. Now, I don't know why I like saying De Cruz or De Cruzito. I just love the sound of it in my mind. But anyways, getting back to the matter at hand, Bafetu, please hear me out before Nenglasela and Nengateka Kulu. This is just my opinion and my own suggestion. So, looking at what is happening, because I've seen in the morning people were saying it's okay, Kaizer Chiefs should appoint Zwane as the second assistant coach for Fernando De Cruz, since he's someone who knows the club, the culture, and even the DNA of Kaizer Chiefs, because we heard Nazruddin Nabi saying he does not want to miss the DNA of Kaizer Chiefs, but in the right way.
My mission here is to bring Kaizer Chiefs back where they were before, and cause a lot of bring them with their DNA that they had before, and cause a big problem for all those coaches who are here in the city, like Sundowns and those big teams that have been winning titles.
Now, someone said in the comments, I remember correctly, translation sometimes is not translating at his best. But whoever it is, Mangavenje, you can hear what Coach Nabi was trying to say. Please do let us know down in the comment section below what was being said that we might have missed. And then now we have Fernando De Cruz, who's left the club, and also Ukumbule, the video analyst, did not join us. Benni McCarthy, if you remember correctly. I used to talk about him a lot, and now that means Coach Nabi needs to find 2 replacements for his technical members, meaning he needs a second assistant coach, and also he needs to find a video analyst. Now I'm not too sure if ever Kaizer Chiefs have found him a video analyst, or he's still looking for a video analyst. Nothing has been said or confirmed as of yet. And going back to a second assistant coach, if I remember correctly, I once did a video talking about Benni McCarthy, and definitely it was something that we saw with TBC Dinga for Kaizer Chiefs, because I still think Kaizer Chiefs doesn't have a striker coach as until today, and we've seen what's the problem there. We're struggling a lot when it comes to finishing our goals last season. So I see ukuthi ngathi lento leyo kusaseyinkinga, but a lot of you might suggest that we bring in Zwane, which for me I feel like he's not gonna add anything or something new of value in terms of what is already happening, what is already there. But bringing in someone like Benni McCarthy, for me personally, though I'm not saying everyone should agree with this, but for me personally, I think it's going to help a lot in terms of the strikers that we do currently have, so that they can finish when it comes to our goals. And I cannot emphasize of how much important work he does, because we've seen with Manchester United, they were playing Bamsina and then they started scoring goals, and then Bamyegile manje. What happened so far this season alone, I think they've managed to score about 5 goals. And Ukumbule, Benni McCarthy, we saw a lot of their forward players scoring goals, doing proper finishings. And for us currently, I do think it might be someone that we might need in terms of the strikers that we do currently have, unless Coach Nabi is against the idea. And you don't think it's going to be a solid plan so that we can be able to increase our goal scoring opportunities way too, and obviously the strikers to find the back of the net. But unfortunately, taking a look at Benni McCarthy, even though he said he would have loved to come and work for Kaizer Chiefs, he might be a bit expensive because of his former club now, because Manchester United. Currently, I think he's a free agent, but I'm not too sure if uzovuma settle down for less money, unless we have Vuma and he's happy to work again as a striker coach or second assistant coach, which definitely I think might improve the team a lot, rather than taking someone who has already been at the club and giving us the same thing all over again and again. But those are just my honest opinions, and whatever the coach and the club decide to do, I will back them, I will support them completely, depending on what is going to happen.